has been a beautiful day today. I checked our temperature gauge that is inside the house that's reading our outside temperature. It reads it, in real time, and it said it was 72 degrees in the sun. It's very warm. So I took my dog for a walk and we had a great time. We enjoyed a really nice long walk. It was a little difficult in some areas. My shoes that I chose to wear, my tennis shoes, just didn't have very much traction, and it was kind of slushy and slick in some places, so that made walking really hard. And in some places it was really deep mud and water, so I got a little wet, but it was fun, and I love it when the sun is shining. It makes me so happy. And honest side note, this is gross, but I've been picking up so much dog manure in my yard. We really want to put up a fence this summer, and part of the reason is because this is not my dog's poop. I know some of it is the former owner's dog's manure, but a lot of it is just passing dogs. There's a lot of loose dogs here, and if our dogs go to the bathroom in our yard, then that encourages all the other dogs too. So I'm picking up literally tons of dog manure. It's pretty gross, but at least now I can sit on the porch and not smell it. Gross. So I listened to a video this week. It was a Diary of a CEO YouTube channel, and the guy he was talking to made a really interesting point, and he said happiness is boring and highs are exciting, and it's very important to understand the difference. So I think a lot of us mistake highs for happiness. So highs can be when you accomplish something, like, I don't know, you've been training your pony to drive and you finally get it in the cart and it's so exciting and you feel so happy, but you also feel a high in that moment. That is such a huge accomplishment and it feels so great. It isn't a long-term one, unfortunately, because the day after you get them in the cart, things could go backwards, you could backslide, and now you have to ground drive some more. So that happiness is short-lived. Basically what he was saying when he said happiness is boring is, I think when you're truly deeply happy, your soul is happy, you're feeling really content and at peace, those times probably look pretty boring if you were to video them. I think those would equal sitting on the deck with the sunshine on your face. When you're out on a nice long walk with your dog in the woods. When you're happily sitting in your chair, just relaxing and watching a movie with your loved ones. When you're on a road trip with a loved one and you're just getting to spend some good one-on-one time, and it's pretty boring, right? Just driving down the highway can be really boring, but if you're sharing it with someone you love, you are having a great time. Even if it's quiet, you're just so happy that you're with that person. Sometimes you're so happy that you get to be alone. Believe me, as a stay-at-home mom who homeschooled, I cherished those times when I was in my car by myself, just listening to music or a book on tape and just driving without children yelling at me. So I really resonated with that happiness can be boring, can look quite boring, and learning to understand the difference between the highs and the happiness feeling. What is that difference? And when he went on to talk a little bit further, he really discussed, that highs are something that are short-lived. Yes, it's great. It's a wonderful feeling, and we should all strive for it for sure, because usually it is meaning that you've accomplished a big goal or any goal. So highs are great, but they're just short-lived. And happiness can be something that you can choose to feel more often. So I think that the trap can be when we get stuck in thinking happiness is the high. The highs equal happiness, and if you don't have the highs, then you can never be happy. I think that's a trap, and I know I'm guilty of having believed that for a long time. Just thinking that everything always had to be exciting. I always had to be accomplishing these great big things, and these great big things had to be happening to me all the time. I always had to have some big plan or some big goal in order to feel happiness. When he was describing that, I really got to thinking, I've been thinking about it for the last 4 days, and just realized that that is true. I really was searching for those highs all the time, misunderstanding what happiness was. Of course, I don't know if this is true for everyone. Everyone's different. You know, I always say that. But for me, happiness is not the same as those great big highs that we experience in our lives. And for me, happiness is those boring times. Boring, I say, because I actually just love those times. I soak those times up. I want to make sure that I recognize them and I appreciate them, and I am grateful for them when they are occurring, and that I'm not always looking for the next thing, but that I can just sit and be at peace and happy in those quiet, boring moments. And that pertains to this weight loss journey in a huge way, because the journey itself needs to result in happiness as much as the ultimate goal, which can actually feel like a high when you lose the weight. And do I want that to be a short-lived goal that I've met? No, I would actually prefer to find happiness and joy in each day of my journey, and eating the simple foods, doing my intermittent fasting, and enjoying that feeling of lightness I have when I'm not overly full, and cutting out as much sugar as I can so that I don't feel hungover after I eat that, don't feel exhausted after I eat the sugar. And I can go for the long walks with my dog because I haven't eaten the sugar that makes me feel yucky. I want to enjoy all those little moments so that when I do get to the weight loss, whatever the weight loss is for me, whether I get back to 145 pounds or whether I'm happy at 175, who knows what it will be for me. But I just want to make sure that I am remembering to appreciate the small joys in the journey. I did also want to just share my before and after from when I did Bright Line Eating again. And I'll put that here. And then I took some before pictures about a month ago that I'll share here as well. And I'm also just gonna jot down just some basic measurements that I took and see if we can watch those measurements come down as well. Again, this is where happiness in the journey is gonna come in, because of course, when you're doing a weight loss journey, you're searching for the high of actually losing all the weight. But I want to make sure that I am also enjoying each step of the journey so that I don't get lost in the high of losing the weight and then get disappointed when the weight isn't coming off fast enough. Of course, there's going to be days where I'm just bummed because I just feel like nothing's happening. And I'll have to deal with those days as I can, doing all the things that I shared in my video last week for my anxiety and depression. Anytime that I'm feeling frustrated about my weight loss, I just really pay attention to those feelings and I don't eat those feelings. So I don't go look for a candy bar or buy some donuts or on and on, buy a soda. I won't say that I never do that. Sometimes I do eat my feelings and then I try to, oh shoot, I just ate my feelings right then. Stop what I'm doing, throw that away, just start over right then. So I don't make a big fuss about when I have to start over. If I do catch myself eating my feelings, I just simply put that food away, throw it away. Usually I throw it away and I just start over right then. So I don't say to myself, oh, well, I already ate that, so I'm going to eat 75 more cookies today and I'll start over tomorrow. And then tomorrow I eat all the ice cream and then I start over the next day. I don't do that anymore. I used to. I used to gear up for diets and eat everything leading up to the diet for weeks. I probably gained 10 pounds in that time frame and then started the diet. So I don't do that anymore. There's no point in setting myself back when I already want to lose the weight. There's no point in just eating all the food and putting on more weight before I start losing the weight. That doesn't even make sense. So I don't do that anymore. Instead, I catch myself in the moment, throw away whatever I'm eating, and just start over right then. Drink some water and start over. if I've had a big day, like we had Easter and we had some chocolate and cake and stuff on Easter. Craig did a fast day on Monday. I was going to, and then I decided, no, I didn't need to. I didn't feel too bad. I wasn't really sugar hungover or anything on Monday, so I didn't do a fast, a full 24-hour fast. But if I feel yucky after eating something for a holiday or at a family dinner or something, I will fast the next day. Just like a reset, I guess you could call it. I just do a water fast and maybe some black coffee. I don't eat anything and I don't drink anything other than just water or black coffee, like I said. So anyway, this little part of the video is just a part of the journey, I guess, and searching for those little bits of happiness that I can find along the way. And there's definitely highs along the journey as well. When you realize that you've dropped 10 pounds, that feels pretty good. You might feel that high for a day or maybe not quite a whole day. When you drop a pant size, that's a high. Like if you're at the store getting new pants and you have to go down a size, that's definitely a high. And it feels happy. So there's highs all along the journey. But I just really want to pay attention to the happy along my journey too. I would sure love to hear what you guys think about that. What is a happy time for you? And what would you equate to a high time? When you're just on that high, you're just like, wow, so excited and so happy, because certainly you do feel happy in the highs, but what are the times where you feel happy and nothing huge is going on and somebody watching would be bored to death? What are those times for you? I would love to hear that. If you would comment down below, that would be wonderful. And I just want to thank you again for joining me this week and for watching. Bye.